Here is what's coming up in today's Frontline compilation. A Ukrainian UTV speeds across open ground when a Russian FPV drone darts past the rear gunner, exploding a breath away from his helmet. The near miss shows just how thin the margin is on today's drone-filled front. An isolated Russian rifleman stands his ground as a kamikaze drone bears down. Instead of diving, he swings a fist at it. What follows is a split-second lesson in why hesitation and high explosives don't mix. A lone BTR rolls to a stop in the open, troops spilling out just as a concealed Bradley spices the air with 25mm fire. Their ambush unravels in seconds, but the reason it works will become clear soon. A Ukrainian infantryman steps into a web of fiber optic lines. These drones aren't wireless. Most people don't know that, and will show how the tether works later. This is real footage, no effects, just raw moments from the battlefield. Subscribe to stay updated on every Frontline report and stick around to see it all unfold. Let's get into it. Footage shows Ukrainian assault troops and scouts from the Skala regiment storming a Russian bunker, occupied by 5 soldiers. While 3 Ukrainians close in, they encircle the position and hurl grenades inside. A Ukrainian trooper drops into the trench for close quarters fire, but the Russian defenders shoot back. More grenades follow, forcing the Ukrainian to withdraw. 2 additional explosives, then another, are tossed before the Ukrainians advance and fire into the bunker. Only after these blasts do the Russian soldiers fall silent. That night, the Ukrainian group sets an ambush beside a road unknown to Russian forces. 2 Russian soldiers in anti-drones cloaks arrive and are eliminated. A Ukrainian fighter confirms the kills and collects the weapons. Later, a Russian observation post unaware of Ukrainian activity is engaged. Ukrainian marksmen fire from a distance, and an assault trooper moves in to verify the results. 2 Russian soldiers are killed. Another Russian soldier wanders into the kill zone and is shot. A second suffers the same fate after attempting to strike the drone with his rifle. In the final scene, about 10 Russian soldiers take refuge in a shed. An FPV strike destroys the structure, and the footage ends with the drone pilot catching up to a fleeing Russian soldier. Body camera footage from a Ukrainian infantry team in the Kursk salient shows a wounded North Korean volunteer, later identified as Private First Class Pak Young-ho of Battle Group Sobek, hobbling from a shell crater with his right arm hanging useless. Medics shout commands in Russian and English, but the soldier's blank stare suggests he understands neither. Snow dusts the trench at -3°C as Pak suddenly yanks an F1 grenade, screaming what translators later rendered as, "I will not kneel." The blast, seen as a white flash, cuts the feed. What investigators found in the crater remains classified. Drone footage released by War Gonzo captures a Ukrainian M1113 attempting to evacuate troops from the front. During the evacuation attempt, the front of the armor takes several direct hits from Russian fire, and small arms fire can be seen impacting near the vehicle as well. For some reason, the commander of the vehicle decides to reorient the vehicle with the open hatch towards the direction of where the enemy fire was coming from. This opened up the troops who were mounting up into the vehicle to the same fires that were pummeling the front end of the vehicle, causing a large number of casualties both inside and outside of the armor. It's unclear from this footage due to a cut, but it appears as if Russian troops were advancing on the area when the vehicle was finally disabled. This allowed 2 Russian soldiers to get within hand grenade range of the open hatch. If anyone was still in the back of the vehicle, the 2 grenades that were detonated inside ended their lives. An FPV video released by Ukraine's 47th Assault Brigade shows their Baba Yaga drone stalking a lone Russian grenadier amid the burnt convoy near Verbov. The pilot hovers just meters above, forcing the soldier to weave round a scorched Tiger buggy. Multiple jinks buy him 6 desperate seconds. Telemetry later revealed the drone's payload was a repurposed RKG-3 warhead set to airburst. The operator shifts throttle, dives, and detonates nose-on at knee height. When smoke clears, flames cling to the synthetic fabric of the man's Gorka suit. Footage shows 5 Russian soldiers being systematically killed, forcing the 6th and last man to surrender. The Russian troops were discovered hiding in an abandoned train engine by a Ukrainian observation drone. Their location is relayed to FPV drone operators who proceed to strike the locomotive, causing the troops to flee. The observation drone stays on station for the duration of the operation, continuously relaying the position of the enemy forces to FPV pilots, who repeatedly strike the men, killing them until only one remains. He pleads to the drone, and the drone provides instructions for surrender via aerial maneuvers. The video ends as the Russian is taken into custody by Ukrainian soldiers. The incident reportedly occurred along the Pokrovsk front. Thermal footage shows a Russian sapper hiding under a motorway overpass near Kupiansk. An FPV drone darts in, detonates, and a white flash floods the culvert. GoPro footage shows a Ukrainian Polaris buggy at full speed when a Russian Lancet mini drone whips past the gunner and detonates in the dust behind. 10 seconds of pure adrenaline, no one is hurt. A drone streaks between two North Korean soldiers, misses, loops back, and the feed shows one fighter suddenly down, apparently hit by his comrade's own stray round. Footage shows a Ukrainian kamikaze drone approaching an isolated Russian soldier. The Russian makes no effort to flee from the flying explosive device. Perhaps he initially thought it was a friendly asset. However, as the drone gets to within close proximity of the soldier, he swings at it, and the drone operator simultaneously detonates the device. Based on the blast, the soldier was likely seriously wounded or worse. From an unidentified area in Ukraine, a group of Ukrainian soldiers happened to be in wrong place at the right time with a camera to film a Russian missile striking a mere 50 meters away from their position. What this strike's intended target was, we may never know, but whatever it hit is more than likely a rubble pile now. Drone footage shows a lone BTR-82A already taking 25mm hits as it churns toward Ukrainian lines. Under fire, the driver pivots the hull to shield the front, then brakes on a roadside verge and drops the side hatch so the packed infantry can flee. Cannon bursts from a concealed M2A2. Bradley keep tearing through metal and men alike, while nearby mortar splashes ignite fuel and cook off ammunition. Most soldiers who spill out are cut down within seconds. Two minutes later, the carrier is burning and the assault force is neutralized. The scene highlights several tactical failures. The BTR advanced without supporting armor, smoke, or suppressive fire, and halting in open ground. Exposed its dismounts to direct fire, they could not answer. Better coordination, artillery, additional vehicles, or a covered release point might have spared the squad, but poor planning turned the evacuation into a fatal trap. Patrol footage shows a Ukrainian soldier stepping through a waist-high curtain of fiber optic strands, the control tethers of overnight FPV drones. Unlike radio-guided quadcopters, these spider drones stay hardwired to their pilot through kilometer-long glass threads, making them immune to jamming yet helpless if the line snaps. Composite footage from Russia's 15th Grom UAV detachment records 4 strikes in the Pokrovsk sector. First, a Ukrainian T-64BV with Contact 1 bricks survives a top attack but stalls when a second drone ruptures its rear fuel cell. Minutes later, a medevac quad bike cartwheels after a warhead punches through its pannier rack. A Toyota Hilux bearing red crosses is struck despite conventions. Helmet cam from Brutstvo's recon platoon documents a pre-dawn raid near Hroza on May 20th, 2025. Sergeant Maluk drops into a 2-man foxhole. Firing a suppressed SIG MCX. Both occupants fall. He grabs map packets marked with yesterday's date. Just as Overwatch warns BMP engines spooling 300 meters away, Maluk plants an RPO-A thermobaric rocket, clambers out, and sprints into waist-high rye. But the feed cuts before anyone confirms whether Maluk or the captured frequencies reach friendly lines. Rear deck footage from the 47th Mechanized Cargo Truck on the 2nd of July 2025 near Nevelsky captures two riflemen bracing in the open bed as a Russian Kaskadel fiber optic drone races 3 meters behind them, its orange spool trailing like fishing line. Gunner Panda fires a short burst of 7.62 by 39. A single tracer pierces the carbon frame and severs the glass strand. Without guidance, the drone pirouettes and noses into a puddle, detonating harmlessly. Helmet video shows Russian sappers walking through thick forest near Klishchivka. A pocket detector on their team leader suddenly beeps, the warning tone of an incoming FPV drone. The men sprint and dive behind a fallen tree. Rotor blades buzz overhead, searching. For almost a minute, no one breathes. This is the raw fear that frontline troops on both sides feel every hour of the day.
Здесь постоянно просто 24/7. Контроль дорогу постоянно. Вечером они постоянно вверх летают. Вот так, да. По звуку дружёно. Вот так, они близко. Сюда лес. Ждать квадрик. Это посёлка. Она по-любому бабахнет, потому что у меня батарейка стоит. Поэтому...
Multi-camera composite from Ukraine's Sicario group documents a failed Russian combined arms push toward Avdiivka's coke plant. 3 T-72B3s and 4 MTLBs roll behind a smokescreen, but thermal drones guiding 152mm Gyasint guns walk airburst rounds through the Kaishrums. When the smoke thins, a Stugna P team punches a top-down hit through the lead tank's engine deck, halting the line. FPV drones then pick off dismounted infantry, darting for cover. The attack collapses in 8 minutes, leaving twisted tracks gleaming in drone IR. Battlefield crews whisper that another assault is scheduled at dawn. A Ukrainian territorial defense fighter near Siversk spots an Orlan 30 drone at 120 meters, fires 2 AK-74 rounds, downs it into a wheat field.
Wow. Wow!
That's today's raw footage. No filters, no fluff. This is M6 Archive, and we're always first on the front lines to bring you the real war as it unfolds. Subscribe, drop a comment, and share if you want more. We're just getting started.